All right, back with another Puzzle Rush survival. Hopefully, we'll do well today. I feel like we're due for our 50. Definitely due. And I don't know. I have some new approaches here. We'll see how it goes. Okay, first one should be quick and easy. I would assume it looks like this piece is just hanging. We'll just take it. Looks good. We have a back row mate here. Another back row mate. Another back row mate. Okay, this is what I'm used to. Yesterday's were kind of all over the place. Another back row mate. Today they're just free back row mates all over and over. I thought it was a back row mate, and it is. It's still a back row mate, but it's kind of a queen in the face back row mate. Okay, so now maybe we have our first non-back row mate. Let's see. So it's a little bit tricky. Oh, I guess it's not. I guess we have the bishop check with the mate. Okay. What's up, Fried Foxy? How are things? Good to see you again. This is just a checkmate. Boop. And here, it looks like we have the normal pattern, but I'm not sure it works. It's like rook here, rook here. The king ends up sliding out. Then our rook comes over. King slides out, and maybe all we're doing is winning a rook this time. So that's fine. We'll win our rook and be happy with that. Wait, before we do, yeah, there's no way to mate there. We've got a checkmate here. And okay, so this one's interesting. We've got this check, which actually leads to mate. Ah, it does not, because the bishop's covering. But yeah, that actually still leads to mate, right? Because it's check. Whoops, can't go there because of the bishop. Has to go here. Check, takes, check, and it's mate. So we're gonna sack our queen and get the mate. I'm considering playing the summer marathon today. I don't even know what that means. What is a summer marathon? Sounds cool. This looks like we have a mate because this guy is covering the last escape square. And so what I mean is after the check and the king runs and then we check, this pawn is the hero of the day. Okay. So rook here, forcing the king out. And it kind of looks like the king dips aside. So how do we stop that from happening? Check there, check there, check, king takes. Yeah, it's a little unclear to me how this is going to work. As I'm looking at is check, king over, check, king to g4, and now what? I guess the now what actually is rook here, and now the king is trapped. So we end up using this pawn to support the mate. Lichess holds 4 24-hour marathons a year. Ooh, that does sound fun. If it wasn't Bullet, I might join, but I do not play the Bullet. This is the chess.com back row mate. Boom, bam, boom. Okay. I was thinking it was takes here. But first of all, we are in check. I mean, looks like there's... Oh, no. Okay, that's not true. I was going to say there's only one move. I guess it's takes there, and we should be fine. Okay. Let's see. This check looks quite strong. The king has to go here. The knight is covering, and then when we check there with the rook, we get the win. And this is just the standard motif. King is controlling everything, so we mate with the rook. What about check, takes, mate? Check, takes, mate. So let's do it. And then this is a mate because the pawn is the hero of the day. All right, so we can get a discover check or a double check. I think we need the double check, right? Because we can see a discover check just means we lose the queen. So almost certainly the move is going to be here or here. Taking the knight just looks more promising. Also, it's controlling this really important square. So in fact, it looks like this is just straight up checkmate on the spot because it's a double check. Did you check out Lee? Oh, I forgot to check out Lichess ladders. Oh my goodness. I'm going to bring it up right now while we're talking. We're going to take a quick break. Lichess ladders. Lichess tournaments for classic time controls. Ooh, okay. Gold ladders is to find high quality games with long time controls. Is this what we're talking about? If so, sounds fun. Oh, okay. And so you can play a 30-30, a 60-30, or a fast moving 60-30. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, this seems to be where the challenge is going to be for me. I have a really hard time scheduling things with people. It's like I'm available or I'm not available, and I want to kind of be able to be like I'm available now, right now. So I'm curious, can you do that, or is it more of you have to schedule it? That's why I ended up having to drop out of like the 45-45 league. It was really fun, and the weeks I could play were great. But tons of weeks it just didn't work out for me. It was really unfortunate. Okay, what I like about this is it feels like I can go here, and that is mate. So, is that good enough? So if I take, what is my opponent going to do? Why doesn't my opponent just come back and say, no checkmate for you? Well, I guess because that's still checkmate, right? I still come down, check, takes, and it's mate. So what else could they do? They could try to move the king over. That would be mate. They could actually just take with the bishop and free up a square. So that is a disaster. So I guess that does not work. I thought it worked. Aha. So a better move with the same idea that's more forcing as we go here, attacking the queen. If the queen moves, it's mate. If the queen takes, we're fine. So that is the way to go. Okay. Black to move. I mean, it looks pretty strong just to go check. And then if they take, we now have two queens. So I don't see any reason not to do that. And if they don't take, then worst case, we just grab this rook. But let's see if we can get more by going here. No, can't go there and can't go there. So yeah, we're just taking the rook. Interesting. If we take, yeah, we just take. It's kind of scary for a second. I was like, did I miss something? Okay, so this is not hanging. But if we could dislocate that bishop, it would be hanging. But it's also hitting our rook, so it would have to be something immediate to force that. But I think we can. I think we can go here with the bishop. It would be checkmate. They'll have to block this way so they don't give up their queen. We take, and then the knight hangs at the end of this. So this looks quite strong. Takes, knight hangs. You have 2 weeks to play the game, though in 45. Yeah. Okay. It's interesting. Sounds fun. I'll have to look into it. This summer I could have done it more easily. Summer is almost over, and once the school year starts, my life is kind of a disaster, actually. Okay, so I go here. This looks like the most forcing, right? We're threatening a mate. So we go here, and I don't see any way to stop this mate, actually. I think this is just unstoppable mate. Here, this doesn't quite work, but we can move the king up first, and then this is unstoppable. It's fun to mate with two pawns. Is this checkmate? Sure looks like it. That is indeed checkmate. And then queen here. King only has one square. It does have this escape square, though. But if we go here, here, we can't go there. We can go here, 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 and then cover that escape square. And this pawn is actually covering all the other escape squares, so it actually works. Oftentimes that doesn't seem like it would work, but it works there. If we had two moves, we would just move the king up and mate with either piece. But we don't have two moves. We only have one. Okay. What I'm looking at is check with the rook. The king moves up. The queen comes in here, then here, then here, and the king doesn't have to move and is still covering all of the squares without even moving. Good job, king. Okay. White to move. Looks like it should be easy with just like rooks, but the rooks don't seem as well placed as they need to be. Oh, actually they are, right? Isn't that just checkmate? Yes. The rooks are placed great. I was thinking of going along the back row, but that didn't work. Okay, so the bishop is covering this retreat. If I go here and here, then I would go here and win. If I go here and the king tries to sneak away in the back, and then I take, I am threatening no mate, but I'm up a piece at that point, and our opponent doesn't have much. The bishop is hanging, but we'll just move it. So this seems good. Huh. Okay. I thought we had that one. I wasn't worried, or I would have looked at it much more carefully. That's quite interesting. I think this is just checkmate. Yeah. The bishop is covering that. Everything is covered. The king can't move, so we'll just check. The king can't move, we just add check, and then we win. Okay. Got this situation here, that's hanging. This guy is hanging because of the pin, but it can't be by the queen. I'm not really seeing how to make this happen. An idea I have is to go rook takes f5 to be able to go rook takes f6, but they could just back it up. It's a pretty slow, non-forcing way to do it. For some reason I keep looking at rook e7, which actually it does threaten checkmate, so maybe that is quite good. It does seem like they could stop it with rook f7, which looks like a move that would be good anyway. Rook f7 doesn't work, because then the rook would hang on the back rank. So we'd have to instead play... Yeah, maybe this works really well, actually. Rook f7... Yeah, this is the move. Wow, okay. That works great for us. Knight is covering important squares. Rook here, 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 here. King ends up guarding that piece. Also, this piece is hanging. So if we could just back him up, that would be fine. We could also go here, attacking the rook. He could just come over here, though. We could somehow back up the rook, or back up the knight would be fine. Or check with the knight and get it out of the way. That would be great. Like if this was check or something, or even this was check, we would be in business. Okay, and oh, never mind. This is also coming down, so that's also scary. So even if I were just to take the knight, I would lose from this idea. They would queen and skewer, which would be very cool. So that is an issue. How are we doing this then? So I guess we should look at the most basic moves. There are two basic moves, here and here. This one hits the knight. So let's say we go here. It's pretty much forced that the king has to move over. Pretty much, I mean, it is forced. Then we take. They take. And then we could go... Nope, that wouldn't work. We could go here, here, and take. And we could claim that these two pawns win. But that's a big claim. I don't know that that's a true claim. So I want to look at rook g1. Rook g1 sends the king this way. We already looked at that. That doesn't work. So I think it almost has to be this move. So let's see if we can make this work. Here. Here. Well, we don't even have to do that. Could go here, here, take. No, that doesn't work because the pawn. Actually, no matter what we do, if we go here, moves over, takes, he's still going there, and we're losing. So this is quite tricky. That pawn queening really makes everything tough. So back to rook g1. I'm just cycling back and forth. This is a terrible calculation process. Okay, so rook g1 attacks the knight. I think this is our answer. Then when it attacks the knight, we get to go here and fork. And then pick this up. And then this is no longer guarded. So let's make sure that works. Because they could do other things. Like let's say they go here. They cannot. The only other spot is there and this. So this does work. So I stopped my calculation way too early before, right? I went, goes here, goes here, goes here. But that wasn't very precise. Calculation is really about precision. That's something I talked a lot with my coach this week about being much more precise in my calculations. Looks like Fried Foxy got it as well. Okay. My coach noticed something that you, Fried Foxy, have been noticing, that I tend to go kind of like, and then this, this, and this. And he's like, no. You can't go in this, this, and this. You have to be very precise. Because when you start saying this, this, and this, there's a lot of room for your opponent to do things while you're this, this, and this. And all right, so let's look at forcing. Check, takes, takes. We have a slight edge in material, maybe, but they also have these pawns that look quite strong. Takes. We don't mate. We don't even have checks. If we go here, okay, first of all, we're in checks. So that's something to keep in mind. But let's first look at this. If we were to go here and then get this move in, that would be mate because the knight would go here. So this would be a huge threat to deal with. And it would be very hard to deal with. Right now, they basically can't deal with it. Because there's no way to guard this square. So, the reason I wanted to look at all that is because it helps me determine where this king goes. And I think the point is I want the king to stay... I want the rook to stay where it is rather than come down and block. The problem is it's unguarded. So if I go here... I'm worried about forks, but I guess there isn't one. Here, here. What I would like to do is sneak my king like this. So maybe I can go here, and then let's say they check either spot. Then I go here. Oh, then that loses, right? Then they check me there. It feels like the best response to this check is to put the rook here. Ah, this is a terrible response because they immediately respond with c4, winning the rook. Okay, so good. We can completely say that's not what we want to do. So then the question becomes, where do we put this king? If here, here... Here, 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 we lose that rook. We don't actually care. We would still win. Maybe they would sack there. But they would be losing material. They'd be behind the material, I mean. The other question is here. Only check would be way back there. And then we could go here. And then if here, then we're here. But then again, they come in here and they fork me right before I escape with the king. Ooh, boy. I'm not really sure how to best get away. Here, 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 here. Here. Only leaves them with this. But they can keep checking. The diagonals are not getting fixed. If I go here and they go here and I block this way, then they can come down. I go here. They go back up. And I can't figure out how to get out of this queen attack. How do I get away from this queen? The only thing I can find is rook d3, and that doesn't work either. So I'm just going to have to make a move. It's either e2 or d2, and neither work according to my calculation. Well, I mean, both are fine if I'm happy with a perpetual, but neither work if I want to actually win. So I will go here. That's wrong. There you go. What's up, Daniel? How are you doing? Boy, this has been a rough one, I guess. I was feeling pretty good until I started, missing them all. Or I guess missing two. Okay. This is a forcing move. Doesn't look that great, though. The nice thing is we have this hanging piece. And if we take here first, takes, we would win. But I think probably better is taking here first. Because it's very forcing, it's a check, and this piece is also hanging. Wow. Okay. I'm very surprised I missed that one. So are we saying this first was right? I don't understand how that's different. It's the same thing. It's just my order is better because it's more forcing. And also this knight is trapped? Is that what's happening here? So we go here. Okay, so what's the difference with my order? So my order says we go here first, and it's a check. So they have to take, I take, and it's even better. And I'm hitting, no, I'm not hitting that. Oh, this is at the end. Aha. So how is mine better then? I mean, how is this order better for handling that? Check. And then what? Here, and if they go check. Wait, what am I talking about? That's covered. I don't need to worry about that. I don't understand why my move didn't work. My move was great. Okay, so what is the issue? They went here. So I go here first. And it's only even. Because they can go here. Uh-huh. Here. Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. And then pin it to the king. So by ending with the mate, I mean with the check, it actually changes things dramatically. Oh man. That's really annoying. How was the Chicago tournament? Good question, Daniel. The Chicago tournament was good. I went. Okay, first thing, there's a bonus podcast episode coming out Monday morning. That will be a 30-minute summary of the show of the tournament. So it's going to do a pre-tournament, a round by round recap after each round, and then a post tournament. So that should be fun. But then also, all right, I was trying to figure out which one. But the tournament did go well. So okay, so none of those work. So I did have to block with the rook. That just seems so strange. Oh no, it's not strange at all because once. Okay, well, I thought that was. Why did I think that was winning actually? What? Oh no, I wanted to go here. To go here. Yeah, so I didn't want to do this because I felt like I wasn't getting anything. Okay. Back to the thing. Yeah, it went well. I went 2.5 out of 6 against really high rated players. So I was really happy overall with the results. It went well. I got a big win against the 1900. I got a sort of draw against the 1900, and I played well. I played really well, other than some really bad moments where I just went like all in on tactical madness that wasn't there, and it was bad. I don't actually know what I'm doing from here. Okay, because now this does lead to mate. Okay, interesting. Okay, but queen hangs. Okay, all right. Last one. This one. I missed this one. How? How did I possibly miss this? What? What did I do? Oh, I went here because I had some cool ideas that just apparently didn't quite work. Oh, brother. Okay. Yeah. So the bonus pod I think is going to be fun, and I'm doing another tournament this coming weekend. Well, next weekend, and I think I'm going to do a bonus pod for that one. I think I'm going to make that a normal thing, doing bonus pods on the tournaments. I think that'll be fun. All right, let's play a game before we head out of here. I'm gonna make it unrated this time. I was feeling bad that Fried Foxy wasn't playing at his optimal level and almost lost 1 million rating points. But whoever would like to take the challenge can take it. If anyone is available to. If you're not, it's fine. There's a new logo for the podcast. There's bonus episodes. There's ads on the podcast now. Man, I'm like becoming a real podcaster. I don't know. After 4 years, I've decided to kind of up my podcasting game a bit. I mean, I have this dream that as I near the end of my teaching career, it would be pretty great if I could segue into being full-time in chess, which, you know, if I'm retiring from my teaching career, then that would maybe mean like half-time in chess, like chess content, and then half-time playing chess. And so, I don't know. This is why I decided to add ads now, is that chance to kind of start making some moves in that. It'll take me several years, I think, before I can make something like that, but I don't know. It's kind of a dream I have, and it helps the dream go forward. All right, well, no one wants to take the game. It's fine. I'll play a random person then. It's okay. Or instead, we could look at a game from... Oh, okay. I should at least show you guys this game from the tournament. Let's see if I can make it happen easily. That was ugly. That'll probably work. That did not work at all. All right, hold on. Let's close this down so that no one takes it. Why didn't that work at all? We'll try this, and then we'll go... Oops, it's not there. It's here. Huh? Okay. Yeah, this whole streaming thing is hard. I don't know why it's not showing. Will that do it? No. One more try. How about... What if I click here and then click here? There we go. That worked. Okay. It's a little ugly, but we'll just have to say that's fine. I'm going to show you guys a game that was insane. Okay. I played this game against a former guest of the show, Kibitzing Patzer. So it was an interesting game. He played weird. Like, I haven't seen this before. It's very attacking thing, and I handled it fine to here, and then I had this really cute idea. And this is a spot where my coach and I really talked about, like, being precise. So my idea was, after takes, I will be able to castle long first. They'll be able to castle long, but it'll be kind of hard, and I'll be set up pretty well because they can't castle long because of this situation, right? So then I'm in good shape. Now my coach was like, what are you even talking about? Like, this doesn't work at all, right? Because first of all, even if this wasn't hanging, which it is, they could just play f6, and then now they can castle. And so it's kind of like, what? Like, what are you even talking about? So this was an important moment for me to really think about, like, being really precise in my calculations, because my calculation was just, and now I castle long, and I'm doing great, which is not great. But this is not even the point of the game that I wanted to show you. This is the madness. So they castle long, I castle long, and my opponent, I don't know, maybe has a slight lead. Let's see what the engine says. The engine says, yeah, a 0.4 lead from my opponent. I didn't play this perfectly. But they played G5, and I was like, okay, obvious move. Just go back, and we have an even game. And the engine says it is an even game. But I thought for like 20 minutes about what if, bear with me, what if I just take this pawn? Because I take the pawn, they take the pawn, my knight comes in here, my knight's threatening here, my knight is threatening here. They can't contend with all these threats. Everything is hanging. But first of all, not everything is hanging, right? I mean, they can just go here and protect this pawn. I mean, protect this square. So now I can't fork anything there. And I thought if they did that, I could come in here. Okay, wait, no, that does work. If they went here, I thought I could come in here and fork these two. But obviously this is not an issue because that guy is not hanging. So they could just go, like, say, here. And then now it looks like I'm in big trouble. Like, maybe I can do something like this, and these are the things I was looking at. And I was like, okay, this seems like it could be good for me. I thought I was winning. I thought at a minimum this was going to be really cool. And then they just went here. And I was like, as soon as I took here, I looked at the board and I was like, wait. What if they just do bishop takes knight? Then don't I lose? And then he was like, bishop takes knight? And now you lose! And it was so hard, right? I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I'm dead here this early after my opponent played this wacky start. And yeah, it was very frustrating. I actually came all the way back and made a very interesting game out of it, which is quite shocking. We're just going to zip through moves because, you know, like, the game is over. But suddenly, if we look at even like here, I've got these passed pawns that are connected. The engine says you're down -3. Okay, so still not going great yet. But once I start getting them mobile, I mean, now we're looking decent. I actually didn't play e5 here because I was afraid he would sack, and then I might be in some trouble. And I thought I was winning now, and the engine says it's basically even. His rating is over 2,000. He's like 2,005. And then here I get this pawn, and I'm like, wait, what? I have passer connected passers. I'm gonna win this thing. Engine says you're not. Engine says it's a draw. And after the game, my opponent was like, yeah, this is when I realized I played really badly and it was going to be a draw. And I was like, draw. Draw. What are you talking about? I'm going to win this thing. So I did not win, spoiler. I thought I was doing great. And then here, not here, here I decided I'm going to give up this pawn because this is unstoppable. And I did this really cool calculation here where I said, okay, he's going to come in with a king, and then I'm going to push the pawn by, and if he takes, he actually loses. This is all the calculating I did. And it took a while because I didn't realize this was happening at first, but then I realized I could push this pawn. So like if it's my turn, so I go here, he takes, he's going to be threatening to take this pawn with check, but I go here and it's unstoppable. And I was like, I win if he takes this pawn. So I gambited this pawn here, knowing that if he took, he lost. And he took. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just beat a 2,000. This is amazing. I go here, he comes in, I go here, he takes the bishop, and then he goes here. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I realized, cutting off this pawn, if this pawn tries to run, he goes there, and then he moves his bishop here, blockading everything, and I lose. And I was just beside myself, like, what? I had this thing won. In my head, the game was over. I had already won. And here it is. This one bishop hits everything and holds the entire game at bay. And then I lost. And that was really hard. Especially after I played the opening not great. I made that ridiculous sacrifice. And then I have this chance, or to maybe I think I have the game won. Like not just I think I have a chance. I think the game's over, and then I end up losing, and it was a very long game, right? Like after I dropped the piece on the bad exchange early, sack. I was like, okay, this will be like an hour game. It's fine. I'll just go get some food. No, this game went all the way to the end, and then the next round started in like 40 minutes afterwards, and I was just like, what am I doing? So that's that game. I just thought you might find that to be interesting to see that big sack. And I feel like the Puzzle Rush survival work I did leading up to the tournament was good. Like there was one game where I won based on Puzzle Rush survival. Actually, two games that I think I won because of that work. But this game I feel like I lost because of that work, right? Like those Puzzle Rush survivals had my brain thinking like, come on, man. Come on, do it. Don't be a coward. Do the sack. Do the sack. Seems like going for interesting ideas that turn out not working is a trend among your losses. It is, Foxy. There's a thing in my games called this. Just make the normal move. When I make the normal move, my games are very good. I do really well. I end up, doing really well against high-rated players. But then I get these moments where something happens, and I'm like, no. This is the move. This is the moment. And I even tell myself, you should have seen me here, telling myself, Kevin, don't do it. Don't look. There's got to be a refutation. Find the refutation. Work hard to find the refutation. I spent 20 minutes trying to find the refutation. He's just looking at me like, what is happening? You're really taking 20 minutes to play Bishop G3? And I don't know. I just tried. So at one point I convinced myself it didn't work. And then I found the solution to that problem And that was the critical moment. Once I found the solution to a big problem, I was like, okay, it works. And it's like, in what world would this work, right? Like, my opponent is fully developed. Like, it's just not going to work. How could this work? Everything's backed up. I don't know what I was doing. It was crazy. And you're totally right, Fried Foxy, that there are two problems with my game that I'm working on. One is making ridiculous moves when I don't need to, and just make the normal move, and the game goes on, and I'm doing well. The other one is imprecise calculation, and just kind of, especially after I calculate, say, a 3-move sequence, and then there's a position to evaluate, I just gut evaluate it. And I'm just like, yeah, that looks good because of this, this, and this. Rather than being like, okay, here's the new position. I'm going to give myself just even one move and my opponent one move. Now what it will look like. That's kind of the next step in my process. To take that one next step and figure that out. So in other words, I go bishop g3, I'm fine, right? And you're right, Foxy. You are totally right. That is, without doubt, the thing that has caused me the most pain. And I often do it in positions where I'm winning. That's the worst part. Like, I'm winning, and I'm like, here's the knockout. This cool, awesome move. And it's like, no, just make the normal move and win the game. You don't need to make the cool move. The biggest example of this is against this guy. I don't even know his actual name. He's a streamer. His name is Joe Bruin. He's a very nice person. And we played, and I was winning, and he set me up for a trap, and I knew it was a setup, but I thought I solved the problem. I thought I saw farther than he did. I did not. I fell into the trap, and I lost. And it was just like, why not just make a normal move and win? That seems like it would work well. Okay. It did seem like Fried Foxy wanted to play one before we head out. I'm just about out of time here, but let's do it. Let's play a game, Fried Foxy. Let's come back to this. We'll do this. Hopefully this is going to work. Okay. And bam. Yep, you're right, Dan. Pull back the bishop and win. It's not that hard to figure out. And for some reason, this is not even showing anything. Okay, what is the problem here? Just like on puzzles. Yes. Okay, that's why. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm about to auto abort. No auto abort for me. Okay, let's see if he goes into the Open Sicilian. It's funny, my mind trick worked on this kid at our club. He plays the Alapin, and I keep calling him a coward. It's a joke. I'm not that rude. But then he stopped playing the Alapin, just in fun games. And he was like, I don't like being called a coward. And I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't do that then. I thought it was being funny. Wait, what? I just hung everything? What happened there? No, oh my goodness. Wow, my brain is somewhere else. Okay. What am I supposed to do about this? I think the answer is take. And then he takes, my only possible weak spot is covered. Now I can go here, here, castle. Everything looks fine. Although here doesn't look as good. So I'm going to go here and go this way. I'm threatening that. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty common move. I haven't quite figured out how that all shakes out. But I think I can go here, here. I think this works tactically, right? If he takes, I take here. If he takes, I take here. I don't know, maybe that doesn't work. It looks like we end up trading pawns. I'm not sure it's a trade that's good for me. Okay, I am going to take here. And I think I end up winning this pawn, though. So I think it works out fine. Although this pawn was nice because it was shielding any problems I had. I'm trying to decide. Oh. I was thinking I could go here and win the pawn. Hello, bishop's covering it. What about like here? Okay, this is where I want to go anyway, to assault that pawn. But I think castling first was right. Let's just get safe and not mess around with an immediate loss. Okay, we'll go here. I'm trying to decide if the plan is like push this pawn through. The plan is like go here and maybe here. Maybe here. So there's a lot of potential plans here. These are the areas with the Sicilian where it becomes clear to me that I don't know what I'm doing when it's like kind of a random position. I'm like, I don't have any idea what to do. I don't really want to push this pawn. I could go here and hit this a second time. That actually seems quite good. I don't see how they protect that even. Oh, I guess they can go here. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that was kind of pathetic. And we've lost now. Now it's quite easy to defend this pawn. And I'm down a piece. And the game's over. Oh, wow. And I was going to go here, too, which is also a problem. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to go here. I don't know what the answer is. Like this? Okay. Yeah, we gotta do something here. Bring this rook in to try to attack. This game's basically over, except for one thing. My opponent doesn't have a lot defending their king. The king's not, like, in trouble, but there's just not a lot around it. Guess I can go here. The next move is here. Okay. Can I just take? No, queen takes. Okay, I'll go there. Wow. This queen is really running out of reasonable spots. I'll go here, I guess. This whole rook thing is looking more like a fiasco than a good idea. But I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. It feels pretty over at this point. 3 on there. I can go here. Guard it a third time. Not sure that does anything. The nice thing is this is finally hanging. So we're going to take it. Yeah. No, let's not. What? Okay, alright, that's enough. What happened there? I hung 2 pieces in 2 different times? That is quite bad. I'm more interested, though, in the opening since I don't know this opening well yet. Okay, this is why the chess.com ratings are the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I played horribly. I blundered 2 whole pieces. And chess.com was like, well done, you played like a 2100. What are you even talking about? They're like, other than those 2 blundered pieces, you were great. Okay. So this is all the theory that I play. Okay. I thought taking there was right. Let's see what the openings book says. So openings book says that is the most common move is to go here because there's no... Well, I just thought like they're going to take here if they really want to anyway. Engines, or the opening book says they usually play here and then castle long, I'm guessing, and then now I would take here. Okay, so it seems like an ordering thing. Like, what's the difference if I take here first? Seems pretty similar. Okay, maybe they had other options that were good. After I take there, no. Okay, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that option then. That is a good move. I didn't quite know how to deal with properly, and this was a bad move. Which is interesting, because I thought this was actually pretty good. Like, I thought I was pretty smart here. The computer's like, you are lost. I'm like, what? I'm lost? 1.6? Wow. I mean, I think the computer's just saying basically, like, this pawn is very strong. This is going to be very hard for you to take. So, better would have been just b4 and not have any of these problems. Maybe they go there. Although, even, no matter what here, the computer does not like my position. So where did it go wrong, according to the computer? Right here. b5 was weakening because of a4. So that's the deal. And I only went b5 to be able to bring my knight into here, which I can bring my knight into there now. So that's a little bit weird. I don't know what I was thinking there. Plus, I didn't even think about it. Just play c4 and embarrass my poor knight. Okay, so probably the best idea is just a normal one, right? Rook c8. If they go here, I guess I can't go there. Right, castling, of course. And then, I don't know. The engine suggests this. And here... Yeah, the problem is I can't really go here. I suppose I could go here, maybe. The engine likes b6, a5, and knight b8. Knight e8, sorry. Knight e8. That looks even weirder to me. Okay. Well, I think that is enough for today. Thank you so much for coming by. Fried Foxy, thank you for the absolute whooping. Even though I played like a 2100. I mean, I'm surprised you could beat me if I can play like a 2100. All right. I'll see you all next time, everybody. Goodbye.